are back.
We are.
It's been a little bit since I've done a podcast, and it feels weird.
Does it really?
Yeah, because we were so far ahead, and then you went out of town.
I know.
And now I'm like lost without my podcast.
Yeah. I feel the same way, too, as we get the chance to collaborate and work together again. And, sorry, I'm just going to not have you be mad at me this time.
Boom.
Yeah, boom, boom.
Boom, boom. That's going to be my new thing every time I hit the mic. Just boom, boom.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm good now. But yeah, I think that I think people are missing us. I just like to say that.
Well, we're still putting stuff out there every Monday. We're just...
Well, I didn't see you.
Yeah. We're missing each other.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
The problem.
That's where it's at, right? Yes. So we're messy on purpose.
And, back in action.
Back in action. And today, what the first thing that we're doing? What are we doing today?
Oh, okay. So we are going to talk about things... So I'm looking up because I wrote it on my board just so you guys are aware, not so what is she looking at? That's just to keep me in line. But we're going to talk about things that people say versus what they actually mean. See, there I go. Boom, boom.
Bump, bump. Mine's going this way. Okay, let me do. I'm going to do like that.
We just need to readjust.
There we go. I think I'm fine. Okay.
But yeah, so we're going to talk about, because people say things, including us.
Yeah.
And when you say things like, I'm fine, or let's keep in touch, or mine, a big one I do is nice. When somebody's talking a lot and I'm kind of over it, that's usually my go-to.
Really?
Yeah.
My go-to is...
Or what was the other one? It's oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That's mine. That's crazy. If you get a couple of that's crazies, you know it's time for you to be quiet and leave. And my buddy and I do it all the time. What it stemmed from for me is that we had, in Santa Rosa, California, we used to do this. He would run, I would walk the lake. It's about 2 miles or something like that. And he'd do it a couple of times. And I do it once. But we call it spring laking because we go inside our mind, and the reason why it's called spring lake, we would run around, but what would happen is if I was talking to you, I'd be thinking about something else, and I'm like, yeah, that's crazy, and I would say that crazy, and then you go, what are you talking about right now? And you would say something wild, like yeah, my grandmother, passed away. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I'm like, are you spring? So our thing was, are you spring laking right now? Which is just kind of doing that run in your head.
Yeah.
I look like I'm listening to you, but I'm really not listening to you at all. And you might say some crazy, profound things, but I don't really, not care, but more of I've just tuned out, basically.
And I don't even necessarily tune out. It's just, I don't know what to say to your ongoing conversation. So that's crazy. Or Justin, I love him. But when he goes on and on about cars, I'm just like, crazy.
That's one. I'm going to listen for that from now on. If he's talking about, that's crazy. I'm like, okay, you know what? Please.
Oh, Lee, I've definitely done it to you. Yeah. I've definitely done it.
That's crazy. Wow. Okay, well.
When you go on with your film rants, and sometimes, I just don't know what's going on at some points. And so, wow, that's crazy. Or, oh, yeah, nice.
I still feel supported, though, when you say it.
See, and that's all that matters. Yeah. I think we all do it, right? It's kind of a respect thing. I could turn around and just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. You can shut up now. That's rude. Yeah. Instead, I'm just going to let you talk and then, respond.
Hopefully I'll finish sooner rather than later. But
you got some rants.
Yeah. I can be long-winded for sure. That's for sure. But it's passion behind that rant.
Oh, I mean, we've witnessed it firsthand right here. Remember He-Man?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see what those, people think about that later on because it's a true rant.
It's a true rant.
Not that any rant's not true, but, Okay.
Yeah. So, any specific ways people talk? Well, actually, before we dive into that topic, let's just do a little catch up. You just went on a trip. What happened? How'd it go?
The trip was great. I really miss my friends. I have a couple friends here, you and Justin, and some other people that. Some old students and stuff like that are my friends, but I don't really hang out with them very much. I'm by myself typically a lot, which is fine because I like myself.
Makes you feel better.
Yeah.
I live with somebody and I'm by myself all the time.
So yes, not that I'm happy that you're not lonely or anything like that, but I'm not lonely either. But just you have friends that you see every once in a while, and it's just I think it's a hibernation period for me. But it was really great to get out to Santa Rosa, California, Napa Valley. I did some videos for Robert Mondavi winery has been closed for about 2.5 to 3 years.
Oh, okay.
And they put about $205 million into a brand new, I mean, they revamped everything, and it is the most beautiful property I've seen.
So you did some like
I did
marketing
some
for them stuff,
Well, I did some
or what?
I shot. I was a second cam. My buddy was first cam. I was second cam for as the. They're doing tours and teaching people how to do tours, but people are coming back, so they're like, "Hey, here's where you go." So we videotaped that for people that new people that would be coming in to help run tours for them.
Oh, okay.
So they can, so that we videotaped
It's like education
that. Yes,
purposes,
yes,
basically.
educational purposes for Robert Mondavi. So it was really nice. It was a really great gig. They paid me very handsomely, which was really nice. My friend was, they're the type of people that, I've been with friends with my buddy Nathan for he's a shooter, since college, since like 1989. So I've known him forever, and we've always worked together. And we do all the video also too for, Damon's a producer, but we also do video for the Alcatraz. So if you ever go to Alcatraz and you get on the ship to get to Alcatraz, you're seeing videos. We've produced all those videos.
Oh.
We did all those too as well.
Okay.
So.
We seen it when we were in San Francisco.
Oh, you did?
That's the prison thing right there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. We went down
dope.
below the bridge,
Yeah.
and seen it, but we didn't go to it.
Okay, yes.
We didn't do like the tour.
Yes, because there's a big, huge tour because it's it's a federal, national, whatever they're calling it. It's federal land now. I mean, like the Alcatraz, and so they own it. So it's a national park, basically.
Oh, okay.
So so there's nothing can happen on there. They don't build anything on there, but it's really nice to be on there. They talk about the movies that were shot there. There's only a few. Escape from Alcatraz, and also I think The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage, R.I.P. Sean Connery. So it's an old school movie that came out. There's not very many movies actually that have been shot in San Francisco. San Francisco, ideally, and I used to live there, is one of the few cities that have actually built on rock and also incline, where most cities they would demolish and bring down to level, but not San Francisco. They kept it like that, and the houses go.
That's
like
why the roads are like that.
Yes, they're super high, and if people think that they know, no. If you've been there, you have.
Yeah.
It's crazy in some of the parts. You have to,
Well, they have that one road that's super iconic going down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that we
off
did
of Lombard.
that. Yeah,
you did that. That's
it.
dope. Yeah. And did you guys rent they've got these little vehicles you can rent that are super small where you have little earphones?
No, we took
Did you see them? Oh.
No, we took our Tundra down it.
Oh, perfect. It's great.
We were just whatever we were in. We were only there for like a few hours. We weren't there very long enough to get dumplings, which were amazing.
Absolutely.
And then just to kind of go down and check that out.
And then you were in Presidio then, because that's where my brother was born. So Presidio, if you were underneath the bridge looking at the Golden Gate up like that.
Yeah, there's like, it almost looks like a Columbine or something like that. Like, like a concentration camp or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
Those are the old bases. So even those bases were still original from what they have never changed.
I didn't even know what the point of them were, but like it just looked very like.
Yeah, it was an army base.
Oh,
and so
okay.
people lived there. We all lived there back in the 70s. Well, before that too as well, 60s. And that was the place to be when you were an officer in the 70s. Like that was like the cat's meow. Presidio, it was one of the nicest bases to be stationed. My dad was a captain at the time. And at the end of it, he was like almost a general. Basically, he was a full bird colonel. Okay. So he was a lifer in the military army. So that was a base, and now Disney owns it basically. So Disney owns all of Presidio. So that's why it's really super posh, and I can't believe they've redone all the insides, but the guts of the outsides are the same. So if you go inside the houses, they're super pretty and super posh. I did some interviews for a place called Podtech when I worked in Silicon Valley for a long time. We went down there and interviewed a bunch of people like from SanDisk and stuff like that that were doing their things.
It looked like the businesses that were down there were nice.
Yeah, no, that's super. Yeah, and they were never there before because the commissary I think they took down. But I'm very familiar with that.
It was like industrial property.
Yeah,
now is how
super nice. Yeah, and they have a climbing station there and all that kind of stuff, and really posh. You can get massages and stuff like that. So it's very, very beautiful. So I spent a lot of time down there because had plenty of birthdays. My dad. I think I moved to Presidio in '73. So I know San Francisco pretty well. And I went to grade school there for a little while too, before I moved to Sonoma County, which is kind of 60 miles north of San Francisco.
We ate at like a dumpling place next to like the chocolate
Ghirardelli's.
Yeah.
Dope. I know exactly where you were.
There was a dumpling place that we ate at right there.
Did you go to Ghirardelli's at all or no?
We went by it, but like the line was insane.
Yeah.
And personally, I just don't wait in lines.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm not a line person. I can want something super, super bad. And if there's a line for it, I'm good.
Me too.
I'm okay.
I'll pay extra. Like, and the reason why I say I'll pay extra, I paid like I think I went to Universal Studios and I paid for passes for me and my friend to go. Like it was like 200, like maybe 150 a piece, but it was so worth it because we never waited in line and we rode every ride, and went on everything. But I'll pay for that.
Well, that's to
get past the line because
although nowadays I don't know if you can get me at a theme park. There's too many people. Too many sketchy things going on in big crowds.
No, I mean, as I get older, the crowds are crazy because, and I'm glad we're kind of just like bouncing from this, but the crowds are insane. And I don't know if you haven't been to a theme park these days, I haven't been in like maybe 2 to 5 years, but it was crazy then at Disneyland. And California was there, California Adventure. It was like sardines. Like I just don't want to ever do it again.
I have no desire
at all.
No desire. I've only been to Disney in Florida.
Okay.
So that's the only one. And obviously, like, you have
huge.
more Disney people here, actually, than really there. Like, there, it's like more for families and stuff, I feel like. There's still your Disney people, right?
Absolutely.
But, like, it's not like here. It's not like the West Coast and these
They
Disney.
have their own
they're different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we actually watched like this whole like documentary, or I don't know if it was a documentary or not, but like it was like on Disney people and how they basically took our generation and turned them into those people by how they like
completely.
Yeah,
because I wasn't like my kind of generation. We I mean, if I'm not always saying like when I just tell people like, oh my gosh, things were different.
They were different. They were different.
When I went to Disneyland in 1975, when it might have been 76, my brother was really little. We went on rides, Fylisha, no seat belts. We were on this one ride that they closed down. It was super dangerous. It was these little rockets that go up like that in the kids' town, but like it was fast. My brother was going to fall out. I'm literally holding my brother because he's between our legs like that. Those old rides that people... I mean, shit was scary back in the day. I mean, like, nothing was regulated. I mean, like, things were odd. So, yeah, I mean, we grew up in a different time.
Yeah, that's definitely different in itself. Yeah. But I'm more talking about what they psychologically did with the movies and how they...
get you part of
and they kept a lot of these Disney people are stuck in, like, a kid mindset still, right? That's why they're holding on to that, and they're not having families, which is really odd. So you think about it, if the generation that's obsessed with Disney now doesn't reproduce, who's gonna be the next Disney people? Or is Disney going to die down? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's true. So they have to start making more content to say, hey, get in relationships.
Because they need to promote to families again, like they used to when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
And instead of these Disney people that are like children, they're adult children.
Right. That aren't actively socializing with everybody else.
Yep. And even if they're in a relationship, unfortunately, a lot of these people are extremely overweight. They are very unhealthy. I mean, even if they're in a relationship and try to reproduce, who says that they could, let alone if you're in like a child mentality, should you be raising kids? I don't know. It's just a weird line, and it's a psychological thing that Disney did, which is absolutely insane. It's genius marketing.
Right. But is it sustainable now for our country? And also, too, I mean, like I heard about the real Japanese people who are Japanese, their race is declining immensely because nobody is reproducing like they used to.
Yeah, and that's just in general throughout.
Yeah, just in general throughout,
Honestly, like what scares me is the people that should have kids are not having kids, and the people that shouldn't have kids are having kids. That's what's scary. So we have people raising children, and then that's our next, generation.
Yeah. That's really weird. Not weird that you say that, but that is, I think there's some truth to that about people that shouldn't be, that are reproducing, that should not be reproducing, the ones that should be. And also, too.
And it's not everyone. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of really good parents out there.
It's just basically, in your opinion,
But like it just seems to swing more one way than the other.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that people don't, just because you can have kids doesn't mean you should. And I feel like, and this is just more of a question to people out there or that are listening. Is there something behind? Because someone told me before, I didn't have any kids, and I really wanted kids, but I was, for whatever reason, we didn't have kids when I was married, which was good. I mean, because I wouldn't want to bring them up in a divorced sort of relationship or anything like that, and have them either dislike me or dislike their mother. But I always wanted kids, and I'm glad that I didn't have them, I guess. But I still could if I wanted to. But I think the thing is it something behind? Like, I believe that is this my last? Like, what I believe in maybe is that is my karmic law. Because a lot of people say that your karma is based on you having children. And I didn't have any children, so am I done here on Mother Earth? Like not coming back again? Because I think that I'm good with those lessons. I don't need to have kids per se, but if I did go out with someone that said, she really wanted kids, then would I do that? Yeah, absolutely, I would do that. But there's not like an inkling inside me that goes, I have to have kids.
Yeah, and I don't think that really actually happens to a lot of people. I mean, there are people out there, don't get me wrong, that's what they want, that was their plan, that's what they,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But then I think we have a lot of people that just, it happens, right? And then now you have a kid, like,
yeah.
It wasn't planned. How many people do you know that actually like plan a pregnancy? Not that many.
Yeah, you're right. It's more of a surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and I'm not saying anything that people that have planned, but I think that kids can be a great surprise. For some people.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, but yeah, it comes with a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, we were actually talking about, me and Justin were talking about it this morning. Not that we want to have kids. Yeah. He's seen a video of some little kid. They were like revving up the car.
Okay.
And I was just like, man, if we were to have kids, that would be what I'd deal with.
Yeah. Yeah.
He would have a lot of fun, and I would not.
But you're talking about boy or girl, or does it matter?
Well, that would be a boy.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's funny, when it comes to like little kids, like I connect better with like little boys than I do little girls, actually.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's how it typically goes. Little girls with their mothers are just estranged for a little bit, and I think when they're in their 20s, what I've seen.
Yeah, it's like when they're younger.
Yeah. And daddy, and then they get older, like, hey, mom, like 18, 19, 20.
Definitely
That's
makes a
seen.
difference.
Yeah.
But
you're right. Yeah, I think that you would gravitate. And kids are just, they're pretty neat. I mean, I was able to, I taught for like 5 years at a really crazy, affluent school, and I met, plenty of people, and I coached girls varsity basketball, coach junior high basketball. So I've seen that process, so it's been pretty cool to be kind of like looking at other people's kids from afar and going, wow, this is interesting, and being close to them too as well. I remember this girl named Bruno. She was a basketball player. She was 16 and she got pregnant, and she called me first before she called the parents. Like, Lee, Coach Lee, can you please come to me with my parents? And I went to him like, Bruno, why did you get pregnant? But I went with her. Yeah, Bruno Bricado or something like that. Jessica Bricado was her name. We all called her Bruno, but she was a dope guard. She might have been 17, but it was like tough. But yeah, that whole process with kids and having babies and things declining. Yeah.
Have you ever helped with like the boys and girls clubs? You know what?
It's crazy you even ask that. I actually ran a division, and the main lady, my big boss was Leslie. I think of Leslie or something like that. She was like, not ever on the fence about me. I was like, I did it because I wasn't making enough as a teacher. So after school, I would go over there if I wasn't coaching basketball and do 3 days a week with them. And the kids never came to the certain gym section. So when I came, I've got, my energy's nuts. I'm like, we're playing flat mat or whatever. We're going. I mean, and I had this game called Jurassic Park that I got from someone I taught with, and the game was so crazy that this television show on Disney, we're going around saying, hey, tell us about your game that you play that's not like anyone's ever seen before. And if something happens, we're going to come and bring a film crew and videotape you. So they did. They saw this game called Jurassic Park, and the kids were loving it. I forget how the game goes, but there was like raptors that were chasing you, and it's like tag with these other balls. It was awesome. It's like dodgeball. But the kids loved it. And so Leslie told me one time, I'll make this story short, and I know I'm long-winded, but she was like, where are all the kids? Because the kids usually would go they wouldn't want to go outside or go to the gym. They would always be playing foosball and playing pool and stuff like that, as Boys and Girls Club. So they're like, where are the kids? Like, and the lady's like, this Lee guy is insane. He's like, what are you talking about? I say, every child is with him right now. She walked in there, and I was like, okay, everybody sit. She's like, how are they so quiet right now? So that was kind of my Jedi status, which is, I love kids. I think kids are great.
I used to have a lot of fun. Like, so I've volunteered at the Boys and Girls Clubs before, and that was fun. But I think one of the coolest experiences I babysat a lot when I was a kid before I could get a real job, from like 11 on, and so that was kind of whatever. But when I went to a church in the little town that like I grew up in half my life, I guess.
Okay.
Second half.
Okay.
Anyways, the little town that we were in, they had a little church there, and I went to that church, and I got to help out with like the Bible school.
Okay.
And so I got to do the outs, because I've never really been like read the Bible and into all of that. Honestly, like I would be a part of the church, and I honestly didn't have a clue what they were talking about 90% of the time. I've never read the Bible. None of that. But I loved going for community and things like that and socializing. I've always been that kind of person. Well, I got to help out with the Bible. What was it, like Bible school? It was like a week-long thing, right?
Bible school,
and I got to do the outdoor activities and play football with all these little kids and stuff, and it was so fun. And so I volunteered again the next year because I just had a blast. Like, it was just so much fun.
I love kids. Kids are like, when they say they're the future, and I know that's kind of like saying kids are the future.
Well, like, no crap.
Right.
But
duh. I mean, they are the future.
That's kind of how it happens.
Yeah,
you have a baby, it grows up, it becomes an adult, it has babies. Like, that is just the future.
Right. But I really like the fact that they're a mirror to who you actually are for them. There's only truth with kids, after you reach the teens, like 13, but between, I think, 11 and 6 or 5.
I would even go down to like
3.
2 and 3.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, when they start talking.
Yeah, when they're aware, they're like, why is your face ugly? I mean, like, they'll say crazy stuff.
Or like you use a filter and they're like, you don't look like that. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And like going back to like the topic that we were talking about, people saying and what they mean. When kids say it, it is the truth. It's the truth. And exactly, I love it. It makes me laugh so hard.
All the time.
Even if it's mean towards me. It's so funny.
No, I remember when I was a teacher, there was this kid named John Team. And he was so funny. I walked in there, it was my first day. And Mr. Bush, who I call a Jedi, he had the little K, he might have been in kindergarten. They were walking, and the kids were like, okay, great. Paige, turn around. All eyes on me. The little kids are like, great. 1, 2. Carson, can you get back in line, please? But John Team was like out of line. So I was talking with the headmaster, and I turned around, and he stops, and the rest of the class is walking. He's like, hey, everybody. And he's all, hey, who are you? I'm like, oh, my name's Mr. Cummings. Oh, hey, Mr. Yummings. Hi. And he shook my little hand. He shook my hand, and he's like, hey, guys. He went back in line. Like, get back in line. Hey, guys, I met this new teacher. His name's Mr. Cummings. He's bald and he's black. Beautiful.
It's not like
beautiful.
It's the truth. Beautiful. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. Exactly. Like,
love it.
It's who you are. They just telling it how it is. Exactly. And like, why can't we live life like that? Why do we have to be so sensitive and we can't say certain things? Like, let's just call things what they are.
Yeah.
If it's crazy, it's crazy. Let's talk about it. But let's not get all sensitive to the truth.
I know.
Because we need it.
Yeah, it's healthy, so kids they live with zero filters, and then for some reason when they get older, they're like, hey, you can't say that because of X, Y, and Z. I mean, get it. You don't hurt someone's feelings, but there's proper time to say things. But let's not, if I had a child, I'd try
Don't purposely hurt people.
Right.
But you should be able to say what, yeah. You shouldn't have to like sit back and just deal with something because of the sake of someone else's feelings. Like, if something's bothering me, I'm going to confront it. I mean, we've had those situations, right? Where like I'll just be like, hey, what's up with this?
Yeah.
Or you'll be like, what's up with this? Yeah. And like it's like it is what it is, and that's how it should be. Right. I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells to be your friend, right?
I do that sometimes too with other friends, and that's like, I guess I'm not really being a true friend because I'm not being my true self if I can't express, how I'm feeling, or even with a colleague, I can't say what I really want, and offline I'll tell you about some stuff too, that, but just like I can't, I don't know what's happening, like what is going on. But anyway, get more clarity.
Yeah, I mean, and like that, I think it goes with time, right? Like eventually either you become yourself or you lose that friend, or you sit in this weird in between that affects you. Yeah. So you have to make a choice at some point. And I've chosen to have very few friends because I'm no longer going to hide in the shadows.
Yeah, that's the thing too. We talked about it just a little bit earlier, that, not being lonely, but just more of like being by ourselves. And I feel like a lot of people could really, and this is just in my own opinion, always.
Yeah. This whole podcast is opinion related. If someone's upset, well.
But I just feel like a lot of people jump in and out of relationships because they're, don't necessarily want to look at that mirror of themselves. And so I think it's very healthy to spend a lot of time with yourself. Not necessarily just be in your head, but just spending time with yourself, getting used to who you actually are, and remembering those things, like the fun things about yourself that you missed and when you're in a relationship. Because you're not supposed to, but you put things away and you go, why did I do that? Why did I not live who I wanted to be? And why did I, because I was afraid about losing somebody else. So I lost myself instead.
Well, and like when you're bouncing in and out of relationships too, another sign is like if it's not working with all these people, it might be you. It might be how you react when you get in a relationship. It may be things that you need to work out. Because I mean, a lot of times we act a certain way if we're insecure, if we have, stuff that we need to work on or deal with, or, figure out. And so that affects those relationships too. So it's not even necessarily like the relationship that's a problem. Sometimes it's you. Yeah. And you can't see that, I think, if you don't step outside of being away from, like, I wouldn't even say a third party, but like a relationship. Because many times I think that those endorphins and all that good stuff that's flying around, it's like going, like when you have a relationship with a girlfriend or a wife or whoever, boyfriend, whoever that is, and you go on vacation and everything's great. It's like, oh my gosh, everything's wonderful. But then as soon as you step foot on that plane and you're going back, everything else, it's a honeymoon phase. Yeah. And now you're back in that relationship, that is 6 year, 5 year, 2 year back. Well, I'm stuck with this person again. So now all the problems ensue. Right. So it's like never go on vacation when you're not feeling wonderful about somebody, because it's going to be great it's always fun when you have money. Well, it's an escape, right? That's exactly it. You're escaping your real life, which is kind of sad. Yeah. Because you spend more time in your regular life than you do on vacation. So you should enjoy every minute of it. Yeah. My life isn't like if I were to record myself every single day and show everybody, it would be boring as hell to watch. Right. But I'm extremely happy with where I'm at in my life. And I spend a lot of time at home alone with that camera. Yeah. It's just, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I don't even call it boring. It would be boring if somebody were to watch it. No, true. It's not boring for me necessarily. I like doing the things that I do. We're both working on different projects, right? And you're enjoying learning your AI and getting better with your photography and doing all of that. I'm enjoying rebuilding my personal brand and redoing my website and all of that stuff. And that's all fun projects. But if you were to set a camera in front of you, it would be pretty boring to watch. This is true. And and what I want to add to that is that a lot of times people that look at their life maybe potentially boring, there's nothing happening in my life. Well, there's something to say about that, which is a lot of people can't say that they have. I like the fact that my life is boring. I have friends. I have a friend, my buddy Mike. He's going through some stuff with a liver transplant and potentially dying. It was hard for me to even look at him because he's one of, I've met him in 1979. I've met him forever. He's like my brother, basically. And, if that was happening to me, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not asking for anything boring. I have a lot of gratitude around my life just being the way it is, calm, no drama, and me being my ass at home. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, it's not even necessarily boring if you're working towards something. Yes. I have purpose and I'm going towards something. That's right. I see the end. I'm just working my way there. And yes, it seems boring to other people. I don't go out. I don't go do those things and stuff like everyone else. Like I've realized the whole like events thing in Vegas is just a bunch of fake people getting together. So like I've kind of like stopped doing that and stopped wasting my time, and I'm just focusing on if the only person I hang out with once a week is you, I'm quite fine with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do the photos. We call it the, what are we calling that? You called it a great name.
The country album.
The country album. Let's do the country album.
Yeah. We're going to do it.
Yeah. But no, that's, I mean, people say the things people say versus the things that they mean. I'm fine. Let's keep in touch.
Okay, so let's talk about those. Were just like examples, but let's quickly talk about, and then we're gonna kind of wrap up.
Okay.
But let's keep in touch. That one specifically.
That's a tough one. That is a very wildly overused. Let's keep in touch, because honestly, if I'm gonna keep in touch with somebody, I never would say that. I wouldn't say let's keep in touch, Fylisha. I mean, like even if I like you as a person.
What about the people? So it's not even necessarily saying exactly those words,
right.
but like, let's get together, let's go to lunch. You know what I mean? Like those type of people that never actually follow through. Because what happens is people say something like that to me, and then I'm like, yeah, let's schedule it.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
That's what I like about you. Let's schedule it, and you schedule it.
I schedule it.
Right.
So if I don't schedule it, if you say that and I don't schedule it, it probably means I don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Let's do this. No, that's wild. I just keep looking at that. Like I've said that myself, but I don't necessarily.
Do we ever fully mean it? That's the real question. Do you mean it when you say it, or do we say it out of politeness when we meet somebody?
Oh, when I meet somebody, it's different. I've said it before to people who I love, and I have been able to get out of my own way.
And that's different, right?
Yeah.
I feel like when you know people and you've been friends with them for a long time, we want to keep in touch and we want to like do those things. But sometimes I don't talk to people for 2 years, and like that's quite okay because we have busy individual lives. Yeah. But what about like when you're in a room full of people, you're meeting people, you're networking, and then that gets thrown out.
I think I mean it. I mean, I know I mean. I try to live, especially now in the last probably 5 or 6 years of my life, or maybe last 5 years. I mean what I say for me. So when I say let's keep in touch, I have this authentic way of, seeing and reading energy very fast, and you do too as well. We can read rooms very, very quickly. So I know if I want to be friends with you
or call BS really quickly.
Right. So I know if I say let's keep in touch, there's something that I potentially need that I like that gravitates me towards you. So yeah, absolutely. I mean that for sure. And I know that you do too as well when you say that.
Yeah, because I'm not going to say it otherwise. I don't want to connect if I don't want to connect,
like,
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. No.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Fylisha, come here for a second. What'd you say? So yeah. No, I definitely do mean it. But people do say things that they don't mean. And I think that I definitely fall into that category when I don't know what to say, as opposed to being really my authentic self and I don't know if they can accept it or not. I kind of retreat back into this, hey, I'm going to be nice. I've done it before. I've done it plenty of times in my life. But I think that the older I get, the more I don't care. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I just don't add fillers anymore.
Yeah.
I just, okay, conversation's over, whatever. But yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah, I think at this point, I'm just very blunt in what I say. So like I kind of end up pushing people away because they can't handle it. So I was thinking about that. Like we have to go back to the Midwest and see family and stuff. And I was like, used to when we lived there, everyone loved me. Right. Well, I don't feel those same vibes anymore. And I think it's just because I'm a different person and like I don't just like kind of let people walk all over me now. Like I am who I am. If you don't like me, you don't like me. And then I feel like when people can't use you like they used to, they tend to not.
For sure.
They don't love you as much. And that's quite fine. It's just something that I was thinking about randomly. So like, yeah, I think I'm past the what people say versus unless I really just want to be left alone, I use the I'm fine. I'm not gonna lie, I use that just because like I just don't like, and sometimes I'm just fine, like just leave me alone.
Right. And I'm fine. I mean, I think that there's a protective enzyme or protective thing that about ourselves where, you know, if you care enough about that person, you will say something. And honestly, when I'm meeting someone for the first time, I don't care. I mean, like, I'm not gonna make my purpose to be inside their lives because I don't know them very well too. So that's why I'm gonna just slough off and go, yeah, cool, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, and say some fillers potentially.
Well, you do in small talk and when you get to know somebody, because you don't know what to say, you don't know where the boundary is yet.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be a little more cautious.
Yes.
So
also too, Vegas is like that too as well, and I think a lot of people would agree. You'd be very cautious about your energy because a lot of people that have been here for, you know, like as long as we have, between 4 to 6 years or whatever that might be, I feel like I made a bunch of little friends when I first got here at the gym and stuff like that, and then these guys are like, "Oh, here you have a camera. You can shoot stuff for me for free," basically. So it's like, and I'm not saying everyone's like that,
but
Vegas is people,
this city's full of fake people.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah, and you mentioned before just briefly about going to some of these events. I'm like, what is happening right now? Where are we at?
And now I go with caution. Unless I just want to get out of the house, and then something.
Yeah, it's totally fine. And I've done a little bit of that stuff too as well, helping out on video projects and thinking to myself, well, I text somebody a little while ago about something and then they didn't reach back out, but I did free work for them and I really want to be a part of this thing that they got going on, but there was no like thumbs up on my message or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. So I was just for right then to help out, you know.
Well, you've probably gotten my vibe with the people wanting to be on the podcast and then I message and we get no response on. That's it. I'm not going to continue like beg people to do things. You know what I mean? So if you don't follow through, if you don't show up, that's it. That's it. I'm not going to remind you because we're not children. And that's, you know,
it's a platform you can use for yourself.
Yeah.
And if you don't want that platform, regardless of how big or small that is, that you need to, I would not follow. Yeah, it's funny because I used to do a lot of chasing myself on things. And that's a great quality to have. Which is we're adults now, and if you want something, you know, you've reached out, be an adult about it, and continue to either follow up themselves. But why would you follow up?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. So I only messaged you this morning because you never messaged back.
I'm so sorry.
I was like, oh my god, is everything okay?
It's so funny because I saw your thing, and I thought I clicked on it, but I didn't because I did see it initially when you did it. Like it was like maybe about 2 hours later, or maybe an hour later, or whatever. That same exact day, I thought I clicked on it, but you know,
I figured that was the case, but I just wanted. I was
in.
just like, let me just check because it said you were busy.
Yeah, but I got up. You know, I was up. I think it was about 7:30 when I got the message, and I hit you back. I'm like,
it was. I think around the time that you responded pretty quick.
But I'm so glad that I mean, I knew that was coming, but I'm glad you said. But those little things like that, I love that. You just check in with me really quickly.
But it's just just to make sure.
Yeah,
you know?
hey, did you get that? I'm like, I did, and I did not.
But it's different when like it's your friend versus like somebody random.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
because we want to do this. I mean, this work helps. Not. I think for me, you know, and hopefully for other people out there, they feel the same. That talking through these things that are normal everyday things helps them kind of, and that's why I feel like all of the little, hey, before I log off tonight, I like those things because they're cute, but like the fact is that they're helpful, but just things you think about sometimes and you necessarily don't have, you might not have an answer or you have an answer, or just like, hey, I go through the same thing you do too as well.
Yeah, it's just kind of you know, you can relate to it. That's the whole idea.
I love those. So. Yeah, very relatable. Yeah, awesome.
All right, well, to wrap this up, do you have a little film thing that you want to add in here real quick before we say bye?
Yeah, I saw a movie called, I think it was called, not Undone, but excuse me, we'll have to put the title up later, but the movie was about, they said it was the scariest movie that you'll ever hear. Now, let me tell you something right now. Yeah, because it was... A24 is really, I know, I'm not going to go into a crazy rant, but A24 is really pissing me off. They make great horror films and they don't really miss. You guys, I'm going to tell you, I have a short that's been almost about a year. And typically if you do a short, they have to go to film festivals before a year. And I'm going to release it. I wasn't going to release it. And people, and I wouldn't, that's a lie. I was going to release it because people that did the work and I was going to go online and release it. But I'm going to go to film festivals with this short called Rochambeau that I did. And I wasn't necessarily going to do it, but I saw this movie that had a lot of budget behind it. And typically when you have a movie that's released to the movie theaters, limited release, where that might be like, 1,200 theaters or 1,000 theaters, not a major release, but they're going to put like at least $6 to $12 million behind the marketing budget. So they had a marketing budget behind this. It was a really bad movie. And I say that lightly, and people might be coming after me in the comments. I don't care. But I like slow burn, but this is really slow burn to get to the point. And then the way they ended it, I'm not going to spoil, no spoilers. I just was like scratching my head going, okay, if this is what's peak, that A24 is just grabbing, because I know A24 just put their stamp on it. It probably won some film festivals and did pretty well, and then they probably distributed it. They had nothing to do with, structuring the deal as far as like the procuring or getting the screenplay together or anything like that, like they usually do. Because they got a lot of great films. But this Fylisha was it was upstairs, downstairs, grandma up or mom upstairs, and she's downstairs and they're doing a podcast, and she's talking to a guy. You don't ever see the guy. It's two people in the movie, and the mom doesn't even talk. She's old. And that's all. I'll leave it at that.
It's just terrible.
So you tell me what you think out of a 10. From 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'm giving this movie like a 3. No lie. That's it.
That's it. Bad